Welcome to Any Given Funday, brought to you by Manscaped, home of the
Beard Hedger.
Beard Hedger.
Put me on the spot. I know.
Got your ass. Joey Haas, Ray Ostrout, Kobe Brickner. We're going to get a power episode out to you guys tonight due to the nor'easter that is currently consuming us here in the Northeast. And I don't want you guys to have to drive in this. I'm okay driving in it because I have a fucking truck, basically.
Jeep.
But you guys don't, so I'm not going to put you guys through that. So welcome, everybody, to Any Given Funday. Lots of stuff to talk about. Obviously, NFL free agency is kicked off. And with that comes a bunch of trades, right? Players are requesting out. Players are getting shipped off. And I think the theme has been the value of these players and, right, the picks. And we get that, it's different than the NBA where if you're trading for fucking Anthony Davis, you're getting 4 first-round picks. But, it's all relative, and it just seems like it's been a question mark with that. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about some spring training stuff from the New York Yankees. We'll touch a little bit on the NBA. And, of course, we got to talk about the second-best division in the MLB. Of course we do.
And I think it's going to be the most fun one.
It's going to be a great time.
To give you a little bit of a hint on which one that could be, but
good evening to you, my friend.
Thanks, dude.
Good evening.
If you aren't from here and you listen to us, like from the New York region, you somehow found us, stumbled on us, and listen to us every week, we're getting fucked from snow. That's pretty much the basic way to put it. It's still coming down extremely hard, like Joey said. It wasn't like too bad in the middle of the day, and now we just got a second wave of I was going 25 miles an hour on the highway. Not a good sight. I saw 3 people off the side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
And most of them were very, very small cars that were just buried in piles that I was like, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I very much commend you guys for coming tonight, and I appreciate it. So let's get into it.
Roll.
Yeah, they always do. That is true. So let's start off NFL free agency. And we'll start off with what I believe is the biggest move regarding, New York. And it's not Aaron Rodgers. It's Darren Waller gets traded to the New York Giants for a third-round pick, the number 100 overall pick overall in the draft, which comes out to be a third-round pick, sorry.
Third-round pick for Darren Waller. Holy shit.
Great. I think it's a great move for the Giants, right? It's a low-risk, high-reward kind of move. It's the same third-round pick, so if you go back and look at it, it's the same third-round pick that the Giants traded and they got in return for Kadarius Toney back when they traded Toney midway through last season, and they flipped that. So if you look at it from a different perspective, you basically traded Kadarius Toney for Darren Waller, and with that, I give the Giants, all the praise that they deserve.
Yeah, they've been making this, and this isn't even their only move. They've been making other moves so far throughout this offseason. Everybody knows that this division is going to be pretty.
Got to keep stacking it up.
Pretty good from top to bottom. We don't really know what the Commanders are going to look like this year, but they have a good base. They really just need a quarterback at this point. So, if they end up deciding to trade up in the draft or do something where we could see something along the lines of Richardson or Bryce Young come in and somehow be in the NFC East, the Giants want to make sure that they're going to be able to compete, especially with the Cowboys.
The Eagles, who were just in the Super
Bowl. They have been losing a lot of defensive linemen and other players throughout free agency so far. So I think the Giants are looking to kind of steal some guys, and I think that they've done a good job so far of going out and signing people and the way that they've handled most of their contracts. Sure, they paid overpaid a little bit for Daniel Jones, but at the end of the day,
you got to do what you got to do.
You got the guy. It's the guy you wanted, right? Where honestly, if you don't sign Daniel Jones, right, where would you have gone? Because look where all the chips are falling.
That's kind of the theme of free agency so far. And that kind of, just to not lose light of Waller too, I think I just really think it's a weapon. He could potentially be the biggest weapon the Giants have if they end right here, right? They re-signed Slayton, they re-signed Sterling Shepard. Now you bring in Waller. You presume that Shepard's going to be healthy. You're going to have Slayton in whatever capacity you want him to be in, right? He's a good player, but he obviously has his drops. And then the Giants, I don't think, are done, right? We've saw news, too, that Jerry Jeudy and receivers on the Broncos could be up for sale. And we talked a lot about that last year, especially towards the deadline, right, of Jerry Jeudy potentially making his way over to New York. There's some other names, too, that I think the Giants are going to be involved in talking to and trying to sign, and maybe not sign, but more trade. But that's a big move for the Giants so far. They got Okereke there.
Okereke
or Okereke. I think we had the conversation last night on Xbox about it, too. I think it's Okereke, but whatever. It's a good pickup. He was the lineman that had the most tackles, or linebacker that had the most tackles for the Colts last season. So good pickup. Flopping over to the other side of New York. Aaron Rodgers lays out his list, right? And on that list of players that he wants, there's already one crossed off the list, but it's Allen Lazard, it's Odell Beckham Jr., it's Mercedes Lewis, and it's Randall Cobb. And Ray, we had a little conversation about this before, but before we get into that, obviously the Jets already go out and make that first move. They go get Allen Lazard, 4 years, $44 million. Kobe said it before, he overpaid, right? The Jets overpaid for Lazard, but it's okay because it's a part of what they need to do if they want to get Aaron Rodgers. And I understand that. And you just brought up a good point, too, of the fact that, you know, where else are you going to go? Right? At this point, where else are you going to go? What are you going to do? It's either try and trade for Lamar, go into the draft again, or get Aaron Rodgers. And everybody's in on Rodgers.
We're running out of options.
There's no Jimmy G anymore, right? There's no Jimmy G to fall back on anymore, right? And that sucks. Mike White's gone.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, too, is some people out there might be saying, oh, this list is, you know, a little steep asking price for Aaron Rodgers to come to your football team. And it's like, obviously Tom Brady didn't ask for the pieces that there was in Tampa because they were already there. But when you look at the Jets, and we've talked about this before, I don't remember if it was on the radio or if it was on here, but when you look at the Jets and when you look at the Packers roster setup, it's kind of similar. I think the Jets have a little bit better defense. They're a little bit younger, but at the same time, you look at their offensive pieces and you talk about the guys that they had on the offensive side of the ball. Aaron Rodgers wants to go to a team. I think the Jets are ready to win right now, but also Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to have to be fucking the father. Right? Like he doesn't want to go coach and manage these guys into becoming themselves into their superstars. He wants guys that are already superstars, which is why he wants guys like Odell Beckham, guys like Allen Lazard, and then safety net Mercedes Lewis. I feel like he's a better blocker. Yeah, right? He's a better blocker, but at the same time, he was a big piece of that team. He's comforting. Right? Randall Cobb is one. Aaron Rodgers' scapegoat for how many years now at this point? Just his check down guy. And I think that, you talked about, Denzel Mims and Elijah Moore, and I'm not saying that those guys should be completely out of the equation, but at the same time, we've seen what they've been like with their attitudes, and they haven't had the best attitude, and you mix that with the way that Aaron Rodgers has kind of, been the last couple of years every time that he's lost.
Aaron Rodgers?
He just keeps crying. So if you're going to add that to Mims asking him to get out last year, adding to Elijah Moore last year, and you're thinking that Aaron Rodgers is asking too much to go to the Jets, he just doesn't want to go to a spot again where he's going to be 8-9, 9-8, swinging on the playoffs. He wants to go to a spot like how Tom Brady ended his career, went to the Bucs, had, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette, a fucking top 5
Julio
defense.
Jones.
Julio,
for whatever it's worth.
Well, yeah, I'm saying when he went there and won the chip.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
No, and I think that it's a fair point to make. It's like you want to know you're going to a better roster, not a roster that has high potential, but a better roster.
You want to go win.
And that's fair.
Now. Yeah,
that's fair.
And obviously, a lot of people say that the Jets are one piece away, maybe just a quarterback away. I think that could be true, but I think
But he wants the guarantee.
Yeah,
right. There was almost a guarantee that when Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers, it was like, wow, this is a complete football team, right? Like this is Mike Evans is already proven, Chris Godwin's already proven, Leonard Fournette's fucking really good, and this defense has a lot of good pieces on it. Like look at what Jameis Winston was able to do with this team, and how good he is. Let's turn it around and look at how good Aaron Rodgers is. And okay, this is what he could do with X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, at this point,
that's fair.
At this point in Rodgers' career, he wants to go win a ring. Like there's no other reason. Like there's no other reason. I feel like he wants to play in the league right now, and he doesn't want to have to go through the fact of carrying a football team or bringing them up to be the stars that they could potentially be. He wants to go to a team where this team's ready.
Nothing.
If you don't agree, hop on.
No, I'm good.
Why?
Because I'm good.
All right. He doesn't want to hop on. But, there's a statement, too, that I saw, and I'm downloading a video, but whatever, I'll just resave it. There's a guy that commented, so it was Upper Hand Fantasy. We actually had the guy on our podcast way back when. And he put out a post or whatever, breaking Alan Lazard to the Jets. Will now overpay Alan Lazard on a 4-year, $44 million deal, $22 million guaranteed. And the top comment on it was Aaron Rodgers complains about his receivers. Also, Aaron Rodgers, I'm not coming unless you bring in the same set of receivers I had when I complained about receivers.
I mean, yeah, obviously, I think it was
Fair,
yeah,
but if that's what makes him comfortable, that's what makes him comfortable.
Right, but he didn't have Alan Lazard 90% of the season. Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs were two guys that you looked at the start of the season. Christian Watson had the drop that started the implosion of that team, right? Like, not to just blame Christian Watson. He ended up being a very good piece, and I think he's going to be a good player going into the future. And I think Doubs has potential upside as well.
Oh, they have great upside.
But, like, when you look at those two guys, to me, it's the same thing as Mims and Moore. Like, Mims and Moore hasn't had Aaron Rodgers throwing them. They've had Zach Wilson and Mike fucking White. I think that they'll be the same type of issue. That's where I was going with that is those two guys are, like, if you can replace those two guys with Garrett Wilson and Odell Beckham Jr., imagine Garrett Wilson and Odell Beckham Jr. on the fucking Packers last year. Right? Like, there was people that Aaron Rodgers liked on his team. It was the fact that Lazard missed some time last year. Your number one and your number two were, really young guys who hadn't been proven yet. And Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon weren't able to get anything going on the ground because your passing game was almost non-existent.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I think there's two sides to it. You could either hate it like Kobe does, or you could love it, right? And my question is what do you do if you don't get Aaron Rodgers? And everybody will go straight to the thing and say Lamar Jackson. But there's not there's a chance, right? But there's a chance that there's a lot of other teams in on him. And that's my worry. It's like if you do X, Y, and Z, you get Aaron Rodgers, basically what he's saying.
I don't know. The fact
if you do X, Y, and Z, it doesn't mean you end up with Lamar Jackson.
Like I said, the fact that there hasn't even been an offer out on Lamar yet is just it's crazy to me. I don't know.
Would I rather see Lamar Jackson there long term? Yeah, I love Lamar. I think he's great. But if I'm the Jets, like, it's kind of like, all right, here's the layout, here's the groundwork. If you go do this and that, you can have me. And yeah, so I'm not a fan of what Rodgers does. I don't think anybody is. He's a drama queen, but gotta do what you gotta do. Jets are playing the game. They're in too deep now, right? Now they spent $44 million on Lazard, so they're in it now. Let's go, run it. Randall Cobb to the Jets fucking tomorrow.
And I also think, like, a lot of people might say, oh, Alan Lazard isn't that great of a receiver, a top-tier receiver. Like,
that's fine.
Like, he's a good number two. Like, I don't think he should be a number one somewhere.
No.
He's a number two, number three guy. And now you are that, and especially if you were able to bring in Odell, and that gets to be a three, like, that three
Garrett
wide receiver.
Wilson, Alan Lazard, Odell Beckham
And
Jr.
obviously, pending Odell Beckham Jr. stays healthy, comes back from... I'm not saying exactly how he was to the Rams. He's obviously gotten older. He's gone through surgeries. It's not going to be exactly the same, but
he's still Odell.
He still has one of the
talent,
craziest, one of the craziest talents we've seen in, as far as wide receivers go in the last decade.
100%. All right, so moving off the New York teams, let's touch on just some other moves that I wanted to just give my 2 cents about, and then we can move into that article as well. Other big moves, Michael Thomas. Back with the Saints, like that move. I think Derek Carr is very much liking that move as well. Oh, here's one for you, Cowboys fans. And like, listen, I was a Stephon Gilmore fan, but Stephon Gilmore just got traded to the Cowboys for a 5th round pick. Not a fan. I think he's kind of washed. I do. Because people said the same thing last year when Stephon Gilmore went to the Colts, and everybody's like, "Oh, this defense is stacked, bro." And then they had, like, Ngakoue, and they had Gilmore, and they had, like, the mix of the young and the old. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, Colts, let's go. And then they blew it.
Well, I mean, it wasn't just Gilmore's fault, though.
No,
Gilmore played well, I think, last season. I mean, he's definitely getting up there in age, but at the same time, you have Trayvon Diggs. He's not going to be your number. I don't think he's really going to be your number one guy at this point in his career. It's another veteran. It's another guy who has championship, mentality that the Cowboys at this point just fucking desperately need, right? That like where do the Cowboys just need to go and figure it out? I don't know where the Cowboys go from here. I don't hate the move. I don't love the move. I think it's just something to add to their defense. And I mean, I think the Cowboys are going to kind of be the same thing that they were this year. I don't really think that there's, unless they go and pick up or trade for a pretty big name receiver. If Dak's just throwing a CeeDee Lamb next year, see after the first round, Dallas.
Let's move into that article that you were talking. Am I missing any big moves? Oh, Jalen Ramsey. I made eye contact with you and it worked. Jalen Ramsey. I like the move. I do. I think it's a riskier move. Me and Kobe were talking about it a little bit. I think Ramsey's still at a very high level, but it just scares me, with his age a little bit. And I just hope, and like this isn't a move for 3 years from now. It's a move for right now. And that's where I'm like, okay, Joey, like stop looking at 3 years from now. I think it's a good move for right now. I think Ramsey is still at. We went through the stats. He was at 9, Kobe, in ranking, PFF ranking. So there you go. I think it's a good move. Miami's going all in though, and it's going to be tough, especially if Rodgers is there and Josh Allen's there. Fuck the Patriots, but it's going to be a stacked division, Raymond. Yeah. And any thoughts? I think the Rams need to completely blow it up though. Just on a different side of it. If Ramsey goes, I think Donald's got to go now. Why would you hang on to wait? Why would you keep one and let the other go? I was
kind of surprised that they didn't try and the Dolphins weren't just like.
I mean, I get it.
We'll throw in another couple picks. You throw in Aaron Donald. I mean, what's going on here?
It's not ridiculous to say, bro. I mean, I would have. I just don't get it with some of these teams, bro. And I don't mean to kind of go into a rabbit hole, but there's some of these teams that are trying to stay competitive, but then not. Right? Look at the fucking the Raiders. The Raiders signed Jimmy G yesterday. They signed Jacoby Myers today or yesterday. And then they get rid of Darren Waller. And it's what's the direction? Which is it? Do you guys want to win or do you want to fucking lose? Do you want, what is it?
I think, right? I don't know what the direction is there, but like we said,
but it's the same thing with the Rams. Okay. You now just traded away your best cornerback. You're going to trade. You said that other players are open on the market. You want other guys from your team to be traded. But you were just in the Super Bowl a year and a half ago. What is it here? Do you want to win or do you want to fucking lose?
I think they're trying to play in L.A. At least they're trying to play the long game because I'm assuming they don't know what the fuck's going on with Matt Stafford. They're kind of just waiting around. They don't know what's
going on with anybody.
Right.
Aaron Donald says he's going to retire every year. Sean McVay says he's going to retire every year. Cooper Kupp's going to be running around the field on one fucking leg next year. Holy shit, what are they doing? Allen Robinson's gone now. He's going to go somewhere.
He needs to.
Fuck. I just don't. What's their deal? What do they want to do? They want to win or they want to fucking lose?
They won the Super Bowl. They don't give a fuck. They got what they wanted. That's what they wanted in L.A. That's what they brought everybody there for. And then they said, we did it. Fuck it.
Do you have any reasoning to that? Why are these teams? No, you're just kind of riding the wagon too. How do you explain what the Raiders are doing? They go out and they sign. It's which is it?
Darren Waller hasn't been healthy. When he is healthy, he's a top tier tight end.
But he hasn't been healthy in 3 damn seasons.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't been healthy since 2020 or 2019.
No, I think it was 21. He back-to-back.
But even, it's not like you got somebody. What the fuck are you going to do in the third round?
What?
We're in 23.
Oh, well, I mean, we haven't started 23 yet. But Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo are essentially the same person.
Fair. But why would you give? Why would you
Now
give?
Devontae Adams is pissed off
It's been two. Like we've had back-to-back seasons of Waller.
being hurt.
He played
basically
well
the whole season.
No, he played 11 in 2021.
What did he play last year?
He played 6 this past year.
Yikes!
And then
I mean, that's
before
where you
that,
get the value.
And then before that, he played. Before that he played 16 and 16, and he had 2,000-yard seasons.
Yeah, that was what 2020.
Yeah, but I think that there's a guy that we'll get to in a little bit that maybe the Raiders are looking to go after, who's a little more reliable, a little more healthy, maybe even a little bit better than Darren Waller. I don't know.
Okay,
We'll get there.
I don't know. I just can't look at some of these teams. And I'm like, the fuck are you guys doing,
Dude,
like,
everyone, but like,
and listen, I don't know this stuff. Like, I don't know the answer, right? Like, I'm just a spectator. I'm just a fan. But like, if I was inside the GM's head, it's like, don't you want, especially with fucking Jimmy Garoppolo, and I love Jimmy G, handsome dude, great guy. But at the end of the day, don't you want the most weapons around him possible? Because isn't that what he needed in fucking San Francisco to be to succeed in the first place?
yeah, but
I just think Darren Waller healthy is a serious weapon. Yes. And I think the Giants saw
disagree.
that and they were like, yo, I want him for a third-round pick.
But
take that.
there is a tight. I mean, I don't know if he hasn't really been leaked to anybody yet, or what.
And
what,
they have money. They do have money. All right.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, there's a guy that's been consistent, been one of the most consistent tight ends over the past couple seasons that I think that the Raiders can go after. I was going to go through all 10. Some of them are like linemen and shit. We don't really got to go through that.
No, I mean, but there's
really gonna
also
just go
other
through,
players there that I think like that are on the trade block that we could definitely talk about too, like Austin Eckler. I think that's another name that we should definitely.
Yeah,
talk
we'll
about.
start with the guy that I'm alluding to, and that's Dalton Schultz.
There's your team, right? That would make the most sense at this point, right?
Why not?
Bring Dalton Schultz in, ship off Darren Waller, except you're going to have to pay Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, you'll have to pay Dalton Schultz, but like you said, they got money. I mean, they got Devontae, Hunter Renfrow, fucking Dalton Schultz,
Jacoby Myers,
Josh Jacobs, like.
It's a good offense.
It's a good offense. But like we've talked about thousands of times before, Joe, they need to go make moves on the defensive side of the football.
Did they make a defensive move? Did the Raiders make a defensive move? No, I'm tripping.
No,
I feel like
I'll go double check, but
I feel like it was there was a narrative like that just kept going and going. I thought somebody joined the Raiders. Maybe I'm tripping. But yes, to your point, Ray, I agree. Fucking Dalton Schultz makes the most sense. Go to the Raiders now. You don't have a fucking tight end.
I'm assuming that's what they're.
I was going to say Foster Moreau's your tight end. You're fucked, right? You're fucked if he's your tight end.
He's a blocking tight end.
Blocking, schmocking,
This draft is actually pretty
Fucking
good for
cocking.
Tight ends.
Too,
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
All right. You're swaying me more to the reason that I don't know. I just feel like for a third round pick, it's like okay.
They send
I wish the Giants did.
They send Marcus
Taking a
Epps.
flyer on Waller.
They've only signed a safety and Marcus Epps. That's their only
Oh, great. Yeah, they're fucked still. Great.
defensive move so far. And they, like you said, Jacoby Myers, Josh Jacobs got the non-exclusive franchise tags. Amir Abdullah, Brandon Parker they re-signed, and then Jimmy G for $72.75 million. So,
God.
Jacoby Myers 3 years, $33 million. So, Jacoby Myers is fucking the same as Alan Lazard.
I have Myers over Lazard, 1,080%.
I don't know.
I think it's close.
It's hard to compare anybody who
close.
played with Mac Jones. You know what I mean? And Lazard wasn't healthy all last year. He's gone up every single year that he's played. I think he's a suitable number 2. I'm not saying that, but I mean.
I think he's a 3 at best.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Colts to cut Matt Ryan.
Oh,
Damn it.
send him back to fucking Atlanta.
Get him back in there.
I want to see
Who's
him
the-
there again.
Who's the new quarterback of
Andy Dalton to the Panthers.
Wow.
Holy fuck. Whoop. Derek Carr is fucking licking his lips. He's got fucking Desmond Ritter, Andy Dalton / Sam Donald, and
Kyle Trask.
Kyle fucking Trask.
You know who's going to be the quarterback of the Buccaneers, right?
Oh.
Baker Mayfield.
Oh, possibly, yeah. But I mean,
Yes, he's going to be the next quarterback, and he's going to lead them to
wow.
to the
Baker's going to
promised
have to
land
play
again.
the Panthers twice a year? Fuck yeah. Wow. I'm in. I'm into that.
All right, well, who's number 2 on the list, dude? Fuck.
We'll just go to fucking Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler. I think there's one team that sticks out like a sore thumb to everybody, right? Right, there's one that one team that everybody's thinking of that really needs a running back and would probably fit pretty well in that system.
The Ravens? I have no clue.
No.
The Chiefs?
Kobe? The Buffalo Bills.
Oh.
Right? We said the same thing with fucking Derrick Henry 2 weeks ago. Austin Eckler wants a trade. He wants to win. He's on the back half of his career, right, as far as age. He's 30, right? 28, 29, somewhere around there, right? And that's... he wants to win. And we're
the guy for fucking 700 yards receiving and rushing a year. So
100%. And Austin Eckler, right, is another one of those guys that can do a 1A, 1B role.
But do we think that I don't know if that would work. Just due to the fact that the Bills need like a runner. But hey, Austin Eckler could be the pass catcher. Who's running? Devin?
No, fuck no.
Cook?
Devin's gone.
Cook?
Yeah, Cook. Yeah. I mean, Eckler can still run the football. He just does. In that offense.
The reason the Chargers fucking blew a 27-point lead was because they couldn't run the football to close out the game. They threw it 150 times.
Right, but it's because the fucking Chargers never wanted to run the football.
No, because Austin Eckler can't run the football as good as he used to. Like, he can break for fucking big plays, but when you need like a 3-4 yard push, like from fucking Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Saquon,
I think he can run the football. I think the Chargers just don't run the football. Like, that was their downfall, was that their scheme didn't run the fucking football.
That's right. Yeah, I agree.
And if it wasn't like Austin Eckler was so good at catching the football, it's because that was his role. Like, that's what they wanted him to do. They didn't. That was their downfall, is they didn't fucking run the football. Not because Austin Eckler's not a good running back, but because he just didn't. They didn't throw the. Staley did not run the football at all. Just didn't want to run it.
I mean, they ran it 2 less times than they did in 2021.
But yeah, they didn't run it a lot in 2021 either.
Yeah, but I'm saying that he was 2018 to 2020, they didn't go over 130. So they're actually running the football more in the last 2 years.
But what's more?
90 to 100 times with just one running back.
I don't know. I just when I think of the Chargers, like, I think Austin Eckler would be a great running back still. Like, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be a.
I'm not saying he's not a great running back. I'm just saying that when it comes down to it, and you're trying to end a football game,
give it to Austin Eckler.
No,
come on, dude.
There's no. That's why they lost last year.
They lost because Staley sucked.
Okay.
Because he got out coached like a bitch to fucking Doug Peterson.
I don't know. I think the Bills need a predominant rusher.
Duval.
That's why I think Derrick Henry worked better than Austin Eckler.
I think Derrick Henry would be great. Hey, fuck it. I'll take both of them at this point.
Yeah, if that happens, then the NFL's rigged. Especially with their fucking cap space that they have available. So.
Oh, man. All right. Austin Eckler, thoughts? Where would he go? Like, where's the best spot for him?
There's not even really. I don't really know at this point. Like, the Chiefs aren't going to pay him. I mean, I honestly think the Bengals would be a good fit for him.
Not a bad call.
With Joe Mixon, we don't know what the fuck's going on with him right now. Just give another option to Joe Burrow. The problem with that is like, I don't know who you're going to be able to resign as far as the next couple of years go, depending on what Austin Eckler wants. I mean, he's still almost had like what, I don't even know how many yards he had last year, but he was one of the most consistent, at least in fantasy last year. He running back wise. So,
man, good thing the Panthers signed Andy Dalton. I was really fucking worried about them.
James Bradbury
re-signed with the Eagles. So I did see that.
Yeah, C.J. Gardner-Johnson was another guy that I saw.
Oh, on the West.
Yeah, I mean the Eagles.
He's young.
The Eagles are kind of getting like half and half right now. So I don't know. I mean, it was really him and Jordan Poyer are the two like big pieces that are on contending teams that I think are going to that might leave. I mean, Jordan Poyer looks like he's on his way out. Who knows with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but those are two big pieces. I think that if they go somewhere else, they're going to want to just go to another contender.
Baseball talk, huh? All right, let's start off with this, and then we'll move into World Baseball Classic, and then we'll talk about the second best division in the MLB. Yeah? All right. Starting off, so the Yankees announced today, and per Aaron Boone, that...
We're not recording.
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to the camera. Per Aaron Boone, that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is going to start taking reps in center field, and he will get his first. He will get his first start in center field later this week as he transitions into a utility role. He was cheap. Right?
What the fuck?
He was cheap. So, what? I think we re-signed him for like $6 million, $7 million, something like that. I don't hate it.
Let's take a Gold Glove third baseman and put him in fucking center. Send it, boys.
Utility role. Utility role.
You think this is a good idea?
Dude, get him the fuck out of
Utility in the
shortstop.
infield, sure, perfect, fine by me.
Dude, they just want him for.
You
They want
just
him for
signed an
anything.
outfielder.
They want him for anything.
You signed an outfielder, Willie Calhoun, who's supposed to do the job.
Fuck that, dude.
Okay.
Willie Calhoun,
Okay.
Better than fucking, what's his name?
Aaron Hicks.
Hicks had another blunder.
I know he did.
Yep.
Give me Kiner-Falefa in the outfield over Hicks. Fuck it.
I'd take fucking. I don't even know. I'd take Pablo Sanchez in the outfield over fucking Aaron Hicks.
All right,
And you know what his speed is.
So let's break
half
it.
a star.
Let's break it down. Right, let's break this down now. So with IKF moving to the outfields, clearly that is a message that Boone is trying to get across to the media of one of these young guys is going to be at shortstop. One of them. And not for nothing, we haven't really heard much about Peraza so far this spring. It's been the Anthony Volpe show. It has.
Yeah.
You can't deny that.
I'm not denying it.
And so that leads me to think, right, based on the media, that this is Volpe's spot over Peraza's spot. And that everything has led to that, right? I'm not making this assumption based on what I want. Of course I want Volpe. Or fuck it, I'll take Peraza too. Fuck it. But I think it's one or the other. And
Yeah,
I think it's I do truly believe it's Volpe. I do.
I don't know. I think that we only saw a little bit of Peraza last year, so I think it's kind of they're giving the same sample size to Volpe.
So now do we think it's a competition between Volpe and Peraza?
Yeah, I think that's really what. I mean, you could say that IKF was in there.
Oh, IKF was the starter up until an hour and a half ago. Come on.
I mean, you can believe that if you want to.
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
don't. I personally
I
didn't
believe it.
think at all this season.
Listen, I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it with my own two fucking eyes, bro. And I'm going to get LASIK on Thursday.
Yeah,
and
no.
I still saw it.
No, like I said, I think they could have, hinted at it and just tried to get the media off or try and keep the media on them for some fucking reason. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to hide the fact of what they're trying to do this season. I don't know what to think about the Yankees anymore. I truly don't. I mean, what you just said, that's like us coming out and saying, hey, we're going to put Adam Duvall at shortstop.
Right, but Adam Duvall's going to start. No?
Yeah.
Like, IKF wasn't
You just said IKF was going to start.
I thought he was going to start at shortstop.
Exactly. So what's the difference?
But now we know he's not. But there's like a clear replacement for IKF.
Yeah. No, yeah. And there's a clear replacement for... No, what I'm saying is you're taking a guy in a position that he's probably never played before, and I don't know if you ever played center field. A little fucking different than third base and shortstop. I'll tell you that right now. A little fucking different. Especially in the MLB when... I mean, you're even looking at the World Baseball Classic right now with how many fucking triples are being hit in Arizona. What was there, 5 yesterday in the USA game? Something ridiculous. I mean, it felt like every ball in the gap that's usually a double pretty much anywhere else was a fucking triple.
I guess my question...
Like, IKF isn't even fast.
Here's my thing, right? Here's my reasoning behind all of this. Right? So I'm looking at it from a couple different scopes. Okay, one, do you know the 3 positions that IKF has been known to play in his career?
Third, short, and catcher.
Correct. Why is he not going to be the third catcher?
Because I don't know. It's empty up there over there.
But listen, on the other side of it, look at how fucking bad our outfield is right now.
Joey.
Bad.
You have a guy in Jason Dominguez.
I thought you were going to say Willie Calhoun again. I was about to blow it.
No, but I'm just saying. The only reason I brought him up is like you went and I don't even care how fucking good he is. You went and signed a guy for the outfield just to put IKF in the outfield and say fuck the.
Well, you know why, dude? Is because they want IKF to come off the bench. Like as a role player, they want IKF to find at bats.
Understand that. Keep him in the fucking infield.
Right. Dude, it's just spring training. Don't overreact over this. It's just spring training. And all they're trying to do is, if push came to shove, and that the gates of hell spread loose in Yankee Stadium in August, they could say, "Fuck it, IKF, get out there, get out there."
If that's happening to you guys in August, I'll see you at home. Okay, just know that. Like, come on, Joe. You think that this is a good idea,
dude? I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
That's like me saying that I'm excited about Kike being our shortstop this year. He's been playing center for his whole fucking career. He's only been a utility guy, but when's the last time he played short?
Tatis is fucking going to the outfield.
How does he look so far? You can't fucking sniff a fly ball out there.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Right? If you want somebody on your roster bad enough, what are you going to do? You're going to find somewhere to fucking put the guy.
Okay, Ronnie Tatis and fucking IKF are two...
Right, but they need. But listen, they need Tatis to start. They don't need IKF to start. They don't want IKF.
So why are you trying to force him into a position that it gets him into the lineup?
It's just a safety precaution.
For what purpose? You have 4 or 5 outfielders. If you want to throw Giancarlo in there,
Bader needs at least 6 weeks. Giancarlo's good for a lick of outfield once a month. Aaron Hicks hasn't been able to fucking range a ball. Willie Calhoun is fucking 97 and a half years old. Aaron Judge can't play all 3 positions in the outfield at once. And Oswaldo Cabrera is actually a fucking shortstop third baseman who's playing the outfield now. So on my
but he's newer. He's new to his fucking career. You can sit there and conform him to being a different guy. IKF has never even touched the outfield. Joey, fielding ground balls in the infield and the outfield positioning, it's completely different.
I agree.
So why are you taking a guy? How old's fucking IKF?
Like 27.
No.
IKF is not, yes. Isaiah, Kiner, Falefa. How old do you think he is?
31.
Isaiah Kiner Falefa is 27 years old. He's a young man.
I don't know.
They're just trying to find a way, Ray.
They're
just trying to find a way that IKF can stay as a role player on this baseball team.
Yeah, there's other positions.
There's a great chance that he doesn't play the outfield twice this year.
Right, but just like the fact that that's the biggest news from the camp is just like, I don't know.
I mean, we're not going to see Dominguez. We said it on the radio the other day. We're not going to see him.
Well. Yeah, no, like I said,
well, no, it's not. Cope, it sucks, but it's not fucked up.
Yes, it is,
bro.
What is the difference between Volpe and Peraza? Double A and single A? Is that
there's no difference between Volpe and Peraza?
I'm sorry, Volpe and Dominguez, starting this year or being on the opening day roster.
What you just said, yes, seriously, real game situation and just like pressure too. Volpe had the pressure all last year too, bro. He did. We were pushing at the deadline last year for Volpe to come up. What's the face for?
I'm listening to you. I don't know what you mean by pressure.
Volpe there was a chance. There was a 0.01% chance that we saw Anthony Volpe come up at call-ups last year. There was a negative 77.9% chance that Jason Dominguez was called up.
What's the difference between those two, though?
The difference between those two is exactly what we said. One has experience in the minor leagues. One really doesn't.
We're talking about single A and double A, Joe. You really think that that's that big of a difference to sit here and say that?
Yes. Because dude, the Yankees need to save face. If they fuck up,
I can't get behind that.
If they fuck up, and Jason Dominguez,
they've been fucking up since 2009.
If they fuck up with Jason Dominguez,
holy fuck,
bro! Jason Dominguez is not supposed to be like he is supposed to be like Juan Soto level player. He is. He's one of the best prospects in all of baseball. He is.
When was Juan Soto?
I agree. I don't disagree. I never said that I don't want Jason Dominguez to come up.
But you're making an argument that he's in the.
I'm just telling you how.
There's no way if I went to the Yankees front office today, they would tell me that the reason that they're not starting Dominguez and Volpe is because of Double-A and Single-A. You can't tell me that that's a fact.
No, they're gonna say if we fuck up on fucking Dominguez, it's all their heads, bro. It's all of them. It's all their heads.
What is
it's not.
Fucking up with
if he comes up and flops.
No, because then you just trade him.
Because we've pushed guys up before that were very good, and we've done it before, and they flop, and it doesn't look good.
Like who?
Couple pitchers, Devi Garcia, right? He was supposed to be really good. He came up and flopped like a dead fish. And now he's done. Right now, we can't even get him to come back up because he's so ass. I mean, I could go through and look at a couple. That was just the first guy that came to my head.
Yeah, no, I just,
but that's what it is. That's seriously 100% what it is. Is they need to save face. You can Volpe, like he's doing it right, and he was doing it in minors last year, and it was like, okay, here we go. Now Dominguez to come up maybe during call-ups. All right, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Let me ask you this: if the Yankees go and do the same exact thing last year, do you think anyone's gone?
What do you mean?
Like as far as management, because you said they're trying to save face. Do you think if they go,
they just signed contracts. They can't go anywhere. I mean, maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
you
so.
can still get fucking fired.
You can fire anybody, yeah, I guess so. But
no, I know. Do you think that if they don't go and win a World Series and they go through this year with, 95% of the same roster that they fucking had last year, you don't think that there's no repercussions?
Ask the captain.
Who, Jeter?
No, Aaron Judge.
Fuck.
Ask him. All right, moving on. Let's go. All right. World Baseball Classic. Mm-hmm. You've been fucking sweating, locked in on it.
Oh, loving
right?
every fucking second of it.
Right. Instead of just going through and recapping the games, right? What is the chance, right? 0 being no chance and 100% being no doubt that Team USA is going to be in the finals?
Be in the finals?
Be in the finals.
See, here's the thing. I've seen a lot of people say.
Make sure you give me a percentage. I will.
I'm just trying to kind of go through my mind.
Tickle my balls before I get there.
Well, it's before and after the show, but we get there. Here's the thing. We were just talking about it, and right now, as it stands, if everything plays out well, USA wins. Why the fuck is this not updated? But if USA wins both of their games, there we fucking go. Or their last game, I should say, against Colombia. And what's the score right now of Colombia and... So Canada beat fucking Colombia, which is crazy. Colombia comes out, beats fucking Mexico. Now they're 1-2, looking at pretty much elimination. And now Canada and USA are both 2-1, with Mexico having an off day today. Man, so we're either gonna USA is either gonna play though fucking Venezuela, Puerto Rico, or Dominican Republic. Fuck me. Talk about being on the shittier side of the bracket. And honestly, right now, as of just what I'm seeing, people might think I'm fucking crazy for saying this, but I think that baseball is a game of just momentum and how everybody's playing right now. The Dominican haven't come out and impressed me at all. At least USA had a 10-run had mercy rule yesterday. DR has struggled really offensively so far in this tournament. Venezuela's been looking fucking lights out every single time I see them play. They struggled a little bit today against Nicaragua, but overall, man, I think right now it's about a 50-50 shot. I think that this team's hitting is the 50 that I believe that they can win, and the pitching is the 50% that I believe that's going to be their downfall, because they're going to have to go through and beat the Dominican Republic / Venezuela / Puerto Rico by hitting the fucking baseball.
Now, my next question to you, right? And obviously you don't know the answers, but all you can do is give your thoughts on it. Mm-hmm. Right. Why does Team USA not have any good pitchers? Why? Why did we not go get? Why are our best pitchers not pitching for Team USA? Why do you think?
It's hard to say. I've read a few articles that have kind of given me a little bit of insight, but the real thing that I don't think obviously it has anything to do with these guys hate their country, right? No. Like I don't think that's the case at all. I think just from like listening to John Smoltz talk, John Smoltz is like one of the most real broadcasters that you can listen to. Like that guy doesn't give a fuck on TV. He really doesn't. Like if you heard him talk during the baseball class, he's just like throwing shit out there like, yeah, fucking Tom Glavine. Tell me everything. I used to have to fake it. And then he's like teasing like the fact that fucking people like young guys used to come in and say they knew everything about baseball, and then he'd go to them and basically be like, hey, no the fuck you don't. You're gonna suck. I'm like, holy shit, this is electric. And so just listening to Smoltz talk, it just feels like imagine you're going right into a fucking playoff atmosphere. Right? And you're going on the main stage. And what's the biggest thing? I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever felt this playing baseball. I have plenty of times in my life. But what's the one thing in baseball that you don't want to go out and do when you're expected to do it? Like, what's one emotion you don't want to feel when you're on a baseball field?
Fear? Pressure?
No, basically like being embarrassed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like you don't want to go out there and embarrass yourself.
Oh, right.
You know, and I think that there's a lot of pressure on USA being the best team, supposedly being the best team, the best country, with the best league in the world.
No, we do have the best league, but that goes without saying.
Yeah. So I think that could be a part of it. And I also think that going right into a playoff atmosphere when you haven't even touched the fucking field yet, and a lot of the guys who you look at that we sent the list on, most of those guys are contenders. They don't want to go out and fucking throw their arm out, get some stupid injury in a game before the season even starts. I think that's really the only thing that I can think of.
I just don't get it. I don't get why we didn't have our best pitchers out there.
If I had the chance ever in my life to go and be in the same fucking dugout as Andy Pettitte and Ken Griffey Jr. and learn something, I'm gonna go fucking take it.
And listen, hey, go. Brady Singer's great. Nerfy God.
No, but that's the thing of like the pressure being too big and but the moment being too big for him.
I mean, holy shit, we couldn't even get 38-year-old Clayton Kershaw out there for a fucking inning.
Look at the fucking guy from Canada last night. Guy was shitting his pants. He's 21 years old, never been on TV in his life. Came out and couldn't even throw a strike.
19.
Yeah, he's 20 years old, 19 years old.
Where the shit is? I mean, where's Garrett Cole? Like, why can't Garrett Cole give me some innings?
Well, you saw. Did I send you that video that Carabas put up?
No.
Oh, it was like Carabas hates America. The Yankees hate America.
It's just like where is?
I fucking love that guy.
Where are they?
No, like I said, those are three guys, or a couple guys that Nestor had the fucking hammy. These are all guys that want to come out.
Fucking moon over my hammy from Denny's. That's why I didn't go, because he was out to fucking eat. Bullshit.
I mean, Nick fucking Martinez. Dude, Lance Lynn. I mean, was great yesterday. Don't get me wrong. I actually do like him.
Fucking Lance Lynn.
I forgot who said it.
No offense to him, but come on.
No, someone literally said. I forgot who it was, but someone came out and said that he's one of the most deceiving pitchers in the game.
Where's John Lackey?
Retired home, I think.
All right. Moving on though. I just wanted to get.
Let's just say that the USA, if the USA wants to win the World Baseball Classic, they got to score 8 runs a game the rest of the tournament.
I think it's doable. Okay,
yeah, it's definitely doable. They have a fucking all-star lineup. I hope so.
The second best division in Major League Baseball, Raymond. Who is it?
It's the AL East. Everyone's favorite, I would say, right? Maybe the biggest rivalry in sports are still up there for contention with a lot of others. I'm still on the fence of where I want to go with this. I'm like, how would you rank the 5?
Me?
Yeah, with because I'm kind of in between. I know my 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5, I think is where it gets tricky.
Okay. I'll go unbiased. I'll go probably Red Sox 5.
Biased Red Sox 5.
No, I know. It's between the Red Sox and the Orioles.
Yeah.
I'll go Red Sox 5. I'll go Orioles 4. I'll go Rays 3. I'll go right now Yankees 2, Blue Jays 1. That's my
Okay.
And I've done this a billion. I did this last year too, and I fucking clowned myself for saying that the Yankees were like the fourth best team in the division. Remember that video?
No,
It's out there. It's on our page. Of
is it?
Yeah, the Yankees are the fourth best team in the division. And I looked like a fucking idiot. I was like, oh yeah, these guys are gonna win 70 games, and then they went and won like almost 100. But whatever, it's fine. I think I will stand by it.
Hey.
The Blue Jays have a better roster right now than the Yankees. Fuck it.
I mean, I have 1 and 2 the same exact way as you do. Right? I don't disagree. I think the Yankees are going to make the playoffs. I think it's just going to be through the wild card. That's just how I feel about this year. Especially if they don't make any moves by the deadline, but I think we'll get into that. Give me like a 2-minute timer so I don't fucking ramble on too much about each team. Just mental note if I start,
You're on the clock.
Fuck.
Right, who is the fifth best team in the American League East?
I'm going to do this as good juju for my team, okay? I'm going with the Boston Red Sox, okay? And hear me out. This is a big team of what if. I think this team, these are the biggest ifs you'll ever hear in your fucking life, okay? Before I even start saying anything. If our starting pitching stays healthy. If Chris Sale pitches, a couple hundred innings this year, great. If we have our entire lineup stay healthy, fucking great. If Rafi doesn't get hurt towards the second end of the season, great. If Kike has a bounce back year, there's a lot of things that have to go right. But at least, like, the good thing is that there's upside with this team, right? Like, last year I was 10, 12 games in, and I'm just like, holy fuck, this team just feels like it has no energy. No one's hitting home runs. Like, it was really just Rafael Devers, and the rest of the team was just kind of there. But, I mean, a lot of big changes. We had Kenley Jansen, Justin Turner, Chris Martin, Corey Kluber, Adam Duvall, Joey Rodriguez, Ramel Tapia, and Jorge Alfaro. We lose Xander, Nate Eovaldi, Mike Waka, Matt Strahm, Jumbo Dong, Tommy Pham, and Rich Hill. Like I said, dude, if this team stays healthy, I think that this is an underrated team to look out for. But if how it's been going the last 3-4 years at this fucking point, right, this could be, a 70-win team, if not less. If things go completely and utterly fucking wrong, I'm just really happy to the fact that the Red Sox have made some moves to give us some new fucking look, some fresh face, some hope, right? I think I liked a lot of these moves. They're not, blockbuster things. Sure, you could say we lost Xander and JD. They both didn't have great fucking seasons last year, regardless of what you think. So to go, I obviously am going to miss Xander more than anybody. He's one of my favorite players. I grew up, when he was wearing the fucking number 90, whatever the fuck he was wearing, playing shortstop, and I was like, who is this kid? And so I'm excited to see him go and do and have success over in San Diego. But Garrett Whitlock should be making a spring training debut, and he should be back in early April. Paxton should be back in early April, and Brian Baylor should be back in early April. So those are positive signs. Looking forward to the Red Sox. If things get worse, it's just because of this team's going to get derailed because of injuries. So
yeah.
That's why I have them at 5.
All right. I think my analysis on the Red Sox. Really looking forward to seeing what Bobby Dahlbeck can do this year. Really excited for him. Ray Ordonez still on the team?
No, Julio Lugo is.
Julio, I want to see what he has in his back pocket. And hey, we're going on year 26 of Kurt's showing. So fuck it, let's see what we got.
I heard Mike Timlin's making a return this year.
And hey, anything's possible when you have Veritek at catcher. So, all right, Ray.
Hey, don't forget about the dreaded duo of Eric Gagne and Jonathan Papelbon coming out of the bullpen. Okay, just don't forget about that.
Ray, who is the fourth best team in the American League East?
I want to do it. I'm going with the fucking Rays. I'm going with the Rays. I am high on the Orioles this year. I am. I think that they can make the leap.
Oh shit!
What?
I was captioning this video, and it auto-generated a comment, right? And you said in the last video, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and when it auto-captioned, it has it as the Arizona Dimebags.
Dimebags, nice. Here's my thing. Tyler Glasnow is the biggest Why is that so funny to you? That's funny. But Tyler Glasnow is the biggest X factor for the Tampa Bay Rays. Everyone's really high on this team. I think Wander Franco has to have an MVP type year for this team to be a top 3 team in this division. I'm a little bit higher on what Adley did last year. Obviously, Wander's still one of the best top hitting prospects we've ever heard of. The problem with that is like this lineup in general just worries me. There's no power. They're going to rely heavily on Wander Franco and this pitching staff to go and win the baseball games. And, they somehow squeak out 90 wins every single fucking season. But I think this is the season where we see, if Wander Franco plays like an MVP this year, I think this team could possibly even move up to second in the division. But like this division is really one of the hardest ones to predict. So if you want to jump on me and say that you're crazy for saying the Rays are 4, that's fucking perfectly fine with me. I think this team is going to be like an 82 and 80
you're
type
fucking
team.
crazy, bro.
80 and 82 and 80, 80 and 82 type team as far as the 162 game spread goes. I just don't know what you're going to get out of Tyler Glass now. And you did lose Corey Kluber, Kiermaier, David Peralta, Mike Zunino, and Ryan Yarbrough. Like, we know this team's going to pitch well, and it has like a deep bullpen, but this team hits for average, and that can get you up to 80 to 90 games, but I don't know. For them to consistently do it, they're going to need a lot of their role-playing guys to step up and for Glasnow to be healthy.
Yandy Diaz still on the team?
Yep.
Perfect. I'm giving him 90 wins just because of Yandy. All right, right. Who is the third best team in the American League East?
So that would lead me to my favorite team that I'm going to be watching this year, and that is the Baltimore Orioles. If this team makes the fucking jump this year, if Grayson Rodriguez, if fucking Adley Rutschman, if Gunnar Henderson play the way that if fucking Cedric Mullins comes back and has a 30-30, fucking Captain America comes back, he's been hitting like a psychopath in the WBC. If he can hit like that this year again, have another 30-30 season along with what this team has, this bullpen isn't the best. It's not the deepest, but they have a back 3 that I do enjoy. The rest of that bullpen's a little bit shady. Their rotation is very worrisome. I think that they have a couple guys in their prospects that I think that they could possibly bring up. One of them, I believe, is currently injured right now. Let me find his fucking name real quick. DL Hall. He's a left-handed pitcher. I believe he's currently out, but they should possibly. They're wondering if they're going to put him as a 5th stretch pitcher right now, or if they're going to use him in the bullpen. I think either's going to help. They're high on this guy. He throws mid to high 90s from the left-hand side. So, like I said, man, this team is they got some nasty dudes on the back half of the bullpen. Felix Bautista, Dylan Tate, Brian Baker. They all played really well last year. And I'm just really high on Gunnar Henderson. I'm really high on Adley Rutschman. I think both of those guys are going to have great years. I think Grayson Rodriguez is going to be one of the more dominant pitchers that we see going in the next 5 years. I really like his stuff in the way that he pitches. It's just a matter of, can this team make the big step this year? And I think starting right at the beginning of the year instead of getting thrown into the fire is a lot better for younger guys to kind of get more comfortable with it. They get settled in a little bit more instead of just jumping right into it and being like, holy fuck, it's halfway in and I don't know anybody. You have spring training to work with them. And I think this is step 1 in maybe a 4 or 5 step process in the Baltimore Orioles becoming a serious, like if we're talking, if this team gets 2 to 3 pitchers in their bullpen and in their starting rotation, look the fuck out.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is definitely I'm interested to see how Cedric Mullins and Adam Jones get together this year and how they play.
You're such a fucking troll.
Right, who is the second?
Melvin Moore is coming back, I heard. They just signed him on a 1-year, 3-cent deal. Yeah.
No, I think you're getting him mixed up with Miguel Tejada.
Ah, you son of a bitch. You did it to me again. Nope, that was J.J. Hardy.
All right, who is the second best team in the American League East?
I want to be a part of it. No. Hairball. Fuck. New York. The fucking Yankees. The biggest key from this team is who, Joey Haas?
Willie Calhoun.
I try. Come on. Who's the biggest key to this team?
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
In your serious opinion, who do you think is the biggest key to this?
The biggest key to this baseball team?
For this season, right? Who did you just go out and sign for fucking the rest of his career? Maybe a guy called Aaron Judge. You familiar with him?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get you familiar with him. The guy's the reigning MVP, just broke the AL season home run record. And yeah, he pretty much does anything he fucking wants in the state of New York. So the guy's
Andy Fox.
and he does fuck. But the thing with Aaron Judge is he's not getting any younger. He's fucking 7'8", right? The guy's massive. And what do we know about guys that are bigger? Pause. What do we know about guys that are taller? As they get older, their body
way to catch yourself.
their body starts to deteriorate. And
What
also,
about Big G?
Did you know that he's played 148 games or more 3 times in his career?
I do know that.
So I think that's the biggest thing for me this year. I do agree with you. Giancarlo Stanton is a big piece for that. I actually had him down here as well. I said that he needs to play 130 games this year.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Chop that in half and fucking suck it.
Just saying, man.
No way.
Yeah. I'm not saying in the field.
Oh, I know.
Okay. So, I mean,
He'll take on 110 like this.
it's Giancarlo, DJ, Wandy, Loizaga, and Holmes. Like, those are the 5, I don't want to say X factors, but those are going to be like I think how those 5 guys' seasons go is going to really depend on how this team comes out as a whole. I mean, what's their fucking injury list right now is Frankie Montas, Carlos Rodon obviously is news. Whatever happens with him, whether he's back in early April or he's out for the rest of the year, is going to also make this team as well. Nestor's got somewhat of a quad injury. He should be fine by opening day, they've said. Help me out here. Efros is injured. Fucking Trevino's injured. Bader's injured. Fucking...
Who else?
Trevino.
Lou Trevino.
Trevino is injured. I mean, there's probably a couple obvious ones that I'm missing right now. I'm thinking of them, but I can't get them out. But just for the sake of it, the Yankees starting the season unhealthy is just like this team would want to get off to a good start. And the one thing that kind of concerns me, which it looked like it could have been a good thing, it's just turned out to go into a shit way because of the luck that they're having with injuries right now, is that the Bronx Bombers have kind of turned into a team that's like a run-saving team, right? You would say,
Yeah.
they're a team that they've went out and they've went and focused on their pitching, regardless of how good they thought it was. But Severino's going to have a big job to do to follow up Garrett Cole. I think Garrett Cole's going to have a bounce back season. Not a bounce back season, but just a better season than last year. We know how dominant he can potentially be when he's at his peak. We just know what he's capable of. And if he's not on his A game, that's when things get scary for the Yankees, especially him with being the number 1 pitcher, not having Rodon early to start the season, Nestor not maybe being 100% healthy, getting him out. So, this rotation just kind of trickles down, and we'll see where it goes. But as of right now, I got the Yankees at 2.
Yeah. I won't even give a troll comment to this. If Josh Donaldson is third baseman, we're not beating the Astros.
I don't know if you're
There's a lot of things that won't beat the Astros, but that's the number one thing.
I don't know if you're beating the Orioles. Josh Donaldson third. Fuck.
That's who. All right, Ray. Who's number 1?
Who is number 1? It is the Toronto Blue Jays. This team I think is one of the least talked about teams. Really, not just in the division, but just in the MLB in general, right? When you think of the American League, the teams that pop into my head right away, just from reading media as much as I do or watching TV, you think of the Mariners, you think of the Astros, and you think of the Yankees, right? Those are probably the 3 teams. Maybe I'm missing 1 or 2, but those are the 3 teams that you think of right now of teams that can win the World Series or people are talking about can win the World Series, right? I'm expecting big things from Vlad, right? This team genuinely has 5 guys capable of hitting 30-plus fucking home run seasons, which is insane. Like, this lineup is another thing I think it's very underrated. Bo Bichette, they lose Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and they lose Teoscar Hernandez, which I think are big blows, but they also get Dalton Varsho, who's a young lefty,
he's good
outfielder. He's got a lot of potential. He showed it last year. I really like him. And people forget that fucking their second baseman is Whit Merrifield, one of the best, contact hitting second baseman that we have in the MLB, right? Like he's a very undervalued player, I would say as well. They add Chris Bassett, Ross Stripling to kind of buff in the rotation. You have Jose Barrios, you have Kevin Gausman, you have Alec Manoah, you have Yusei Kikuchi. Like the depth goes on from there. Chad Green obviously is going to be out most of the season. They pick him up. He'll be back, when it comes time, hopefully, when it matters the most, which I think if he comes back and looks a shell of himself, he'll be able to help out Jordan Romano in the back half of that bullpen. And, I could be underestimating their loss of Teoscar and Lourdes Gurriel, but I'm really high on Varsho. And if this team stays healthy and Bo and Vlad play up to their full potential, or at least 90 to 95% of their potential, they're both all-stars this season. I think the fucking sky is the limit for this team. This team could easily be one of the better teams that we look at in the American League in general, not just the East. So I wouldn't be shocked if they won 100 games this year.
Yeah. I won't even give an ignorant comment about this one either. I think a big X factor, George Springer.
Yeah.
Huge X factor.
Yeah.
George Springer plays good. He is a top 10 outfielder in my eyes.
Another one, too. Maybe one of the most forgotten about people on this team as well. Like this, I feel like the whole roster is just forgotten about. Like Matt Chapman. Yes. Dude, one of the, right behind Nolan Arenado for the best glove / arm / fielder, all-around fielder that we have in the game in general. And he's been a little bit down, but he started to get back to himself a little bit last year, started to hit a little bit more for power towards the end of the year. So, obviously, fucking Toronto isn't a great place to be a power hitter. You know what I mean? It's not a hitter's park, I would say. Just a weird, it's long dimensions. It's got big walls. Like there's, I don't know, just feel it in there instead of just, going to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a hitter's park off the top of my head, but, think of Yankee Stadium. Yeah. It's a little bit different.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else?
I forgot what else. I don't know if you want to talk about NBA at all.
We'll save it. We'll save it for next week.
Or I don't know if you want to continue with the theme of kind of what we did last week as well, of like
a question.
Yeah, because I just put what is the best time of the year for sports, like as far as season wise, or the best month.
Because right now I'd have to give it some thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Send that to me though.
I think it was at the end of it. Maybe if not, I will.
All right. All right. Yeah, I'll get you guys home. It's probably not nice out there right now. So
hopefully it hasn't gotten worse.
We'll wrap it up. Great job. Thanks for coming out, both of you guys. And you know what time it is now. Well, it's time for me to eat dinner. Well, after that,
yeah, I definitely need to go
search
eat
and destroy. See you there.
See
you there. Buscar and Destroyo
at the fucking Flowers.
See you at the Flowers. Last game of the night. See you there. Round it up, kids. But great job to both you guys. Thank you for everything you did tonight, and also for coming. Right, because for actually coming here tonight, because it is brutal out there. Another week, pick up the 5-pound weight, put it back down. But other than that, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I'm going to try putting out YouTube videos, see how they go. They'll get better with time. And we'll see you on the radio, potentially on Sunday with new eyes. I'll be able to see. Fuck it. All right. Other than that, let's do it. As always, make sure
you never forget.
You always let the fun days roll.